Good morning, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to another day of triathlon training. Not training just yet though. It is about lunchtime, had a bit of a lazy morning, done a few jobs in the house. Yes, Liz, I have done some jobs in the house. I'm just now going to wash Liz's car, constantly doing jobs for her. However, because it's been so cold here recently, the outside tap is frozen. So I'm currently trying to defrost it. This is the third kettle I've put on it. If this one does not resolve it, then I am just going to use a bucket, is what I'm going to do, because I can't be doing waiting for this. So yeah, see you on the front. Okay, so those that have the pleasure of watching this video every day will know that a little while ago I mentioned that we're thinking of selling Liz's car. That plan has come to fruition, so I do need to clean it before putting up some sort of photos to try and get somebody to buy it. So the plan was going to get the pressure washer to clean all the muck out of the arches and stuff. Obviously that's not going to work, I can't get the tap working. Liz is waving to me through the window. So I'm going to have to do it by hand, so it might not be a 100% job. If you are a car detailer or car enthusiast, turn away now, because this is not going to be a posh wash. This is literally fairy liquid, some degreaser, a sponge and a microfiber mitt, and that is it. I did used to be quite interested in car detailing and stuff, and I certainly have been with this car as well, but because it's going to be going soon, like, there's no point, is there? I'm just going to get it a bit cleaner for some photos, but that is it. It's going for some paint work tomorrow. It's got a couple of scratches on it that somebody kindly keyed it for Liz a little while ago, so when that's sorted it'll be up for sale and hopefully gone. My car is running, as you can probably hear it, because the battery goes dead every now and again. I've got 4 weeks left on the MOT. It is not going to go through an MOT. I'm not even going to try and put it through. I've inquired about how much it's going to cost to get it through, and it's too much for it to be worth versus what the car's worth, so there's just no point. So we're going to try and swap Liz's and get something else for her, swap mine, but I might not have a car for a little while, because I don't really need one through working at home and through just not really need a car. I don't think I really need to replace it immediately, but we'll see how that maps out. Anyway, am I really going to make you watch a hyperlapse of me washing Liz's car? Probably. Let's go. So whilst washing Liz's car, she's going to do the inside later on this afternoon. I had a quick look around my car just to see how much damage is on it, and noticed, I put a picture on screen now, noticed a fairly decent scuff on the front of the car. Now, my car only goes to Liz's work and back. She drives it most days. It's 2 miles each way, doesn't really go anywhere else. Like, what could have happened? So I was like, Liz, there's some damage on the front of my car. Have you got any idea where it's come from? And Elizabeth, what have you owned up to today? I will show you. She's naked again, so.
Not naked. I might have accidentally parked a bit too close to a wall.
And by a bit too close to a wall, what you mean is you've driven my car into a wall.
No, not.
Well, it was made contact.
Yeah, I just didn't stop.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't stop means you've driven into it. Oh man, you're lucky it's going to the scrap heap. Anyway, so
I need parking sensors.
That's why I've got a tow bar on the back, so you can use that as a parking sensor. Anyway, why am I like boring you with washing car, talking about this? Well, if I'm going to continue this daily video saga, which seems to have gone on for a few months now, and I really enjoy doing it, I'm sure, or hopefully you guys do as well, there's only so much training I can do, and some of my sessions are quite repetitive, and that's okay because that is the training. But I'm trying to test, and over the last month or so I have tested videos that are just what's going on in my life versus videos that are training, and it seems to be that people care more about what's going on in my life than it is they do training wise. I've spoken to Liz about this, and Liz, you said, well, you're a nosy beggar, so maybe people are just like that. But when I think about why I watch YouTube channels, often it's just because I've got some sort of interest in that person's life. Maybe they live in an area I want to live in, maybe they do a job I want to do, those sorts of things. So I've just tested, sharing different things about our lives. There's not much going off at the minute given we're in a national lockdown, so I'm also struggling for content a little bit, but part of the journey that Liz and I are going on, I want to share with you. So, we spoke a little while ago, Liz, didn't we, about cars in general. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but essentially because we've moved house and moved areas, Liz's commute is now tiny, and at the minute I don't have a commute. I will do when we go back to the office, but for the time being now, your car, you don't need it really, do you? Like, you've decided that it's too expensive a car just to be driving 2 miles a day, and it does cause it some mechanical problems because you're only driving 2 miles a day. Diesels don't like that. So Liz is taking the opportunity to sell it, buying something cheaper and putting the money into stuff that makes money rather than stuff that costs money. Not TT bikes.
Does anyone want to buy Triathlon Liz's car?
No, they don't. So yeah, that's the plan. And the plan with my car is just to not spend any money really, because there's no point. So I'll cover that in a bit more detail. But yeah, essentially that's what we do. We're not one of those couples that likes to be like, oh, showy, look at us. But I also want to try and like document why we're doing things. So we'll cover that in a bit more detail, perhaps when we come to sell it and then replace it and so on. But that's just why I'm doing it. I hope that explains it.
And then a new TT bike will appear.
That's not happening. You're doing a budget TT bike, so I can do a video about it. How to build a TT bike for £500 or something.
No. You do that for your own use.
Okay, anyway, so let's get training. Okay, so bike time, obviously. Liz hasn't quite made it yet. She's still doing some other stuff, but if I put it off much longer, it's not going to happen. So, again, I'm going to level with you. I'm feeling a bit demotivated at the minute. I'm sure many other people are as well, so I'm not bleating on like I'm the only person in this position. I'm certainly very motivated by races. So in the last 3-4 years, I've never really gone more than 2-3 weeks without doing some sort of race, and that might be a park run hard, it might be a cross country, it might be a triathlon, time trial, all those sorts of things. I've not really gone very far or very long without doing anything. So now I haven't raced for, months now, since Columbia Duathlon end last year, and whilst I've got things in the calendar, it's not enough. Like I should be cross country every other weekend or something. Obviously I know I'm not able to, but that provides me with a lot of ongoing motivation. Like you go to a race, you either do well and that motivates you to train more, or you don't do well and that motivates you to train more. I think I feel like I'm in limbo. I'll put my training stats on screen from this week now, and I'm not going to talk through every day, but as you can probably see, I've probably done, hard to tell before I got off the bike, I've probably done somewhere between 10.5 and 11 hours of training. A good mix of running and cycling, obviously no swimming. And I think that's okay. I'm sort of maintaining a fitness level, but I'm not training anywhere near as hard as I was this time last year. Nowhere near the amount of hours, nowhere near the quality of sessions. The bike training is okay. Thanks to James at RideHarder for giving me that. And then running pretty much is what it is, but I've just not got that zazz. Like it's 2:45 in the afternoon now on Sunday, and this is the first training I've done. Like, it's just I've not wanted to. We spoke a lot about on the RideHarder crew the other night. We had like a social, and we were talking a bit about motivation, about how we have accountability partners, we have group training, and that's all great. But if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to succeed, then regardless of what motivation things you've got in place, you're not. And I think my motivation is wavering. I don't mean like my longer term motivation in terms of, oh, I'm going to scrap triathlon, absolutely not. But I just think my motivation to put myself in a hole day after day, training hard, which is what I need to do in order to be as good as I want to be, to get to Kona, etc. It's just not there, and I don't know what the answer is. I'm just going to do an hour spin this afternoon, and that is it. I'm going to use the time to get a bit more on top of things in life, so a bit more on top of things in the house, do a bit of work, get a bit more on top of the day job, and just try and set myself up a bit more so I'm not as generally as stressed. Like little things like, for example, this bike is creaking. No slating to Wahoo, I'm going to get onto them, I'm sure they'll sort it, but little things like that are really winding me up. Like I get on the bike and it's creaking, it makes you think, oh, this is annoying, oh, I'm going to have to cut the audio out of this video or explain why it's creaking. Oh, I'll just not bother getting on the bike. And it's weird how little things like that have a big effect on you. Little things like earlier, the hose pipe not working, that really gets to me. Like I had to carry buckets of water in and out of the house. Then I think, oh, why does nothing ever work? Oh, I can't be bothered, I'm just going to sit down all afternoon. Yeah, so I'm sorry if this is a bit of a whinge, and I'm not necessarily looking for somebody to resolve that for me. I need to do it myself. But I would like to hear how people are staying motivated. So if you could kindly, if you find a way, drop a comment down below, both for my benefit and for others. So if you're in the same situation as me and perhaps your motivation's wavering, please do check out the comments down below, because somebody might have put something there that you might benefit from. Because yeah, I know I should be this image of somebody who puts videos on YouTube every day, who's super motivated and it's all positive, and I try that, but it's just not the case at the minute. So I'm certainly not in a bad position fitness wise. I'm heavier than I want to be, I'm not as sharp as I want to be, But I know that if there was a race next week, I could go and do it. But anyway, so that is it for today's training. I'm sorry that it's not been as, you know, sprightly and action-packed as normal. A little bit of car washing, a little bit of me whinging. But I'm going to use this afternoon to try and reset a little bit and come back tomorrow with a plan, with your help, and by actually putting some things into action. Thank you very much for following along so long. I know some people watch this day after day, and I really, really do appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get to go on some sort of cool events this year. Well, that is it. So give this video a like. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 PM.